number of problems from the injury front that Alan McLeish has had has caused his team lots and lots of hassle. I think Ronald De Boer's been the biggest one that's been out. He's been out for such a long time, and he's such a talented player that, you know, you're obviously going to miss someone like him. And when you add that to the injuries round about with guys like Thompson as well, Arteta was out a long time, it is a big miss to any team.
Dundee United have obviously missed players too. They've missed Andy McLaren and Chris Innes through their own fault, it has to be said. They've been suspended, but interesting, Ian McCall will just pitch them straight back in.
Well, I think that's a compliment to the players coming straight back into the starting lineup. But you know, Ian McCall was saying earlier as well there that you know, he's improved. He's happy with the fact that his team is improving gradually as they go along, and that's all you can expect at this level.
Well, Dundee United will be looking for home success here this afternoon. They won just a couple of matches in the SPL here last year. They've already won 4 in the SPL this season, and the incentive they have, well, if they take all 3 points, they could leapfrog both Dundee and Hibs, and depending on what happens, Livingston as well could be overtaken. John Underhill leads out the teams here this afternoon. Craig Moore and Derek McInnes. Had a good crowd inside Tannadice. Christian Nerlinger comes onto the field of play. Rangers traditional colours, and Dundee United will be looking to test them. So Craig Moore back after his travels. He was away with Australia, and Ronald De Boer takes the applause alongside his brother Frank. So Alan McLeish is happy he's got more of a squad to choose from, and that's reflected in his lineup. The teams this afternoon, well, Dundee United make a couple of changes. Andy McLaren and Chris Innes return. Out go Duff and Samuel. They drop onto the bench after the match against Tynecastle last week, and it looks like they'll go, well, with 4-3-3, 4-5-1. It's interesting, Sandy.
It'll be interesting, just as you say, Paul. The noise is coming from Tannadice to the fact that United are going to go attack-minded 4-3-3, but it could well adapt to a 4-5-1 very easily. Alan Archibald, normal centre-back, he's going to play in the left-back position today. Derek McInnes, I'm fairly certain, will be the holding midfield player. But Barry Robson, he'll play on the left-hand side, but I'm sure he'll double back to help his defenders when necessary.
So Michael Ball is back from suspension, Craig Moore back from his travels, and Michael Moles come back off the bench. It's Berg, Ross and Avaladze, the top goal scorer, who miss out this afternoon.
Yeah, 4-3-3 from Alan McLeish. I'm pretty certain it's an attack-minded set-up. It'll be interesting just to see where Moles and De Boer, just where they start the game and how the game develops.
So our referee this afternoon is John Underhill. Those referees with a smile on his face, and he'll be looking forward to this afternoon's meeting. There's a little word with Andy McLaren, and John Underhill waits to get us underway. So the BBC Live match is at Tannadice, and it's Rangers in possession, going from left to right. There's a long ball played forward, and out of play on that. Frank De Boer, that's what's required. A handball that time though.
No complaints that time, but the first one will be interesting. The ball comes into the box. I think it's Andy McLaren. Well, it's hard to tell from there, but certainly his arms towards the ball, but it may be a fit just in his chest. The referee had a good view on it, but just a little bit of help from his arm there.
He was trying to get out the way.
I don't think John Underhill had a good look at it. That was a problem.
Half an hour gone. Here comes Andy McLaren, just one man in the box. Can he pick him out? Good ball! Oh, what a goal! Mark Kerr with a goal, his first goal for Dundee United. Oh, what a sweet one it is. Dundee United take the lead.
It's a tremendous finish from Mark Kerr. This is a good ball in. And Jim McIntyre does really well to win the header, and that's good support play from the middle of the park. Mark Kerr decided, I'm going to take the chance. Good ball from McLaren. McIntyre just gets enough on it, and Kerr gambles. Look at him there, just getting into the box, times it perfectly eventually, catches it so well with his left foot, giving Stefan Kloss no chance of keeping that one out.
Terrific camera work from the BBC team. You saw the run that Kerr made, pointed out by Sandy. That was a terrific goal. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0. Mark Kerr, and Rangers have to react. Ball played forward. McIntyre. And Dundee United United will take great heart. They have to hold on, always vulnerable those few minutes after you've scored. And there's Mark Kerr, an extra special cheer for him. Oh, what a finish, son.
Yeah, it was a tremendous finish from young Mark Kerr. His first goal for United, I believe. He's certainly one he won't forget.
Here comes De Boer, plays it forward onto Michael Moles. Moles, good challenge. Ball knocked away. And the free kick will be awarded. Chick, Ian McCall must be delighted.
He is, of course, obviously, but he's now screaming at his team, keep the concentration going. This is when it counts, of course, against the Old Firm. We saw them go ahead against Celtic, then lose that lead. Now he knows this is the time when Rangers are like to be riled, and he's just shouting at his team to keep concentrating, keep their mind in the game, the eye on the ball. Another cliche I could think of, actually.
Thanks, Chip. Certainly Ian McCall will be over the moon. Ball played forward. Robson trying to hold on. Here's Kerr forward. McIntyre, good play again by Dundee United. And now, Sandy, the pace of the game is changing.
Well, I'm sure Aaron McLeish will be saying to his players, you've got to lift the pace now. You've got to get the next goal. You've got to get back in the match. And I'm sure he'll be trying to do that before half time. But United should grow in confidence now because of that goal, the lead that they've taken. And they have played fairly well in this first half. They've stopped Rangers playing. Rangers haven't created an awful lot of chances. And good quality from United going forward. Good delivery into the box.
And that's good play again. Here's Mark Wilson. Takes a deflection that time, and Dundee United were quite happy with their first corner of the match.
Good play again from Mark Wilson. More than happy to overlap down that right hand side. Michael Ball giving away the corner.
He's only 19, Mark Wilson. You begin to suspect he's got a very good future ahead of him.
I've no doubt about that, Paul. I've seen him play lots of times now. Unlucky last week to score the own goal, but certainly it's not affecting him today.
Tristan is a possible target as the ball comes in. The header! And it's Andy McLaren! Fifth goal of the season for Andy McLaren, and Dundee United extend their lead. It's Dundee United 2, Rangers 0.
Tremendous goal from United's point of view. Good corner kick, good delivery from McLaren. Sorry, a good header from McLaren, delivery from Barry Robson. The look where he headers it from. He's no more than 4 yards from goal, no real challenge from the Rangers defenders. The goalkeeper doesn't really attack the ball when it's high in the air. He's so close in, fights for the ball really well, wins the battle, and deserves a goal because of that.
Well, this is the moment where Rangers went 2 down at Tannadice, and Andy McLaren hadn't scored since November against Hibs, celebrates. And after the half hour, who would have guessed that our scoreline after 34 minutes would be 2-0?
I think when you look at that one as well, Mikel Arteta is just on the ball now. Mikel Arteta's on the far post. The ball goes in, slides in between him and the post. His job is to stop the ball going into that area. So I'm sure Arteta got a lot of roasting from his teammates because of that.
That's why you put the man on the post. But Dundee United and their fans, until you can't quite believe it, they're 2-0 up on Rangers, but that's given away by Chris Innes. Onto Nuno Capuccio, steps inside, kept his feet. And it's, well, Nuno Capuccio kept his feet. It's not a sentence you usually say, but he might have gone down there.
Well, I don't know if there was a reason to go down, Paul, to be honest with you. I think he tried to eventually pass the ball to Michael Moles, but it was a bad mistake from Chris Innes to start with. The Capuccio there, he tries to set the ball up for Michael Moles, and just a slight deflection, taking it back to Paul Gallagher. But it was a half chance.
10 minutes to go to half time. Rangers, who have lost on the travels at Celtic Park and at East End Park, are now trailing at Tannadice. Here's Arteta, nice move inside, and the free kick is given.
It's good play from Rangers, neat footwork, but I wonder if there's any contact. I don't think there's any contact there on Mikel Arteta.
John Underhill, we've seen it from his angle, it certainly may have looked like contact.
I think the problem, Paul, is there's lots of bodies round about, and Arteta's so quick feet, it's a hard one for the referee to give. There might be a slight touch on it, but from there, United players might be aggrieved that the free kick's going against them.
So Paul Gallagher will be called into action. Dundee United have put a couple of men back on the posts. They've got De Boer, ball, it's De Boer, and Chris Innes standing back. That's a tactic that worked.
Well, I think you'll find here that Innes does what Arteta didn't do. He's right in line with this post on the right hand side, and I'm sure that's getting in if Innes doesn't header it away. Good defending.
It's not a tactic many managers take, Sandy, but it worked well there.
Well, I think because of where the free kick was, you're almost on top of the goalkeeper anyway, and then it's just covering an area there.
Corner comes in, Gallagher stays. And the ball runs all the way out. Well, Alec McLeish has now got food for thought. His side trailing by 2-0. Here are the goals. The first one was a lovely move, headed back across, and what about that for a finish from Mark Kerr? Stephen Kloss trying in vain to keep it out. He had no chance with this one because he was stumbling back, and Andy McLaren heading in, and that's why after nearly 37 minutes it's Dundee United 2, Rangers 0. The ball gets knocked forward, hooked away.
It's going to be a real test of character now for Rangers. It's so important to try and get back in this match, especially with one eye on next weekend's cup tie against Celtic. Alec McLeish will be demanding that his players pick up the effort and try to take something from this.
So Dundee United lead by 2-0. I can also tell you that Celtic lead by the same scoreline. Chris Sutton on target again, and Celtic's second top goal scorer of the season, nets against Livingston. Good header by Archibald, taken though by Rangers. It's good play by Dundee United. They've grown in confidence. McLaren the second goal scorer, links with Kerr the first. Rangers have it. McIntyre goes in there, wholehearted as ever, Jim McIntyre. Rangers looking for a response before half time. Here comes Fernando Rickson, and there goes Fernando Rickson.
He'll be a lucky man here, Barry Robson, if he doesn't receive a yellow card. I think it's just a warning from John Underhill, but this is a late challenge. For me, that warrants a yellow card. He's no intention of playing the ball. He's trying to take Rickson out the game, and really you can't be too happy that Robson will be embarrassed when he sees that one.
Yeah, caught one leg, clipped the other, and the result is a free kick and a gathering on the edge of the box. Ball plays it in, Capuccio, little back header, trying to go. Wasn't blocked by McCracken, but his presence, Sandy, was so important.
Again, it's good defending from United's point of view. This is a good ball in. Capuccio gets a little flick on it, and De Boer just sneaking in at the back post under a lot of pressure from McCracken. Just can't get his foot round it, can't get it on target.
There was the outstretched leg of David McCracken that was important here. So, Andy McLaren heading for the ball once more. Away by Michael Ball. So Dundee United are trying to nurse their way towards half time. It's been over 6.5 years since they beat Rangers here in a home league match. They won by 2-1, and Tommy McLean was the boss. In October 97, they lead by 2-0 here. It's hit past Jim McIntyre. And United could really do just calming it down and holding on to the ball.
Well, that was Alan Archibald again. He had plenty of time to look up there and try and find Jim McIntyre into feet, but too much weight on the pass again, not enough accuracy with it, giving McIntyre no chance of picking the ball up.
So Innes, McCracken and Archibald have all been guilty of wasting the ball from the back. Wilson perhaps been the odd man out there.
Yeah, but I think when you look at defenders, you talk about defenders, maybe Alan Hanscom talk about it at half time being as good as anyone ever was. Really, you have to defend first and foremost. You have to be good at that part of the game, and United, you've got to say, in this first half so far have defended exceptionally well.
So Derek McInnes, the United captain, and his side can keep going for half time. As Gallagher comes out, flops on the ball rather dramatically. So the Dundee United fans, well, they couldn't be more happy, could they, Sandy? Ball played forward. Dropping, little flick on, here's Andy McLaren, tries it, Andy McLaren off the bar! Wonderful chance, which he made himself from the flick through. The ball was falling, and Andy McLaren almost makes it 3-0.
From where we were sitting, Paul, I thought that was in. A lot off for Rangers, to say the least. Andy McLaren so unlucky. Deflection off, I think it was Ronald De Boer. Sorry, Frank De Boer at the back. But great play from McLaren, great effort.
Rangers really rocking, but Livingston have pulled a goal back. Their top goal scorer, Derek Lilly. That's his 14th of the season, if memory serves me right. Celtic 2, Livingston 1. That match is live once more. McLaren plays the ball forwards. Well, Andy McLaren, the only Dundee United player starting today that was in the side that last won at Tannadice in the league back in October 97. It took the deflection, it was over Stefan Klos, and like you, Sandy, from our position, I thought that was in.
Again, you see the weaknesses in the Rangers backline. They look very, very vulnerable today.
Ball played forward by United, play on, says the referee. Emerson. And now Michael Ball. Here comes Arteta. Kerr trying to track him back. Wilson with him. Here comes Kerr to help. Ball cut back. Michael Moll's almost there. And Barry Robson clears for Dundee United. A fairly quiet opening 30 minutes. And then Mark Kerr with his first goal. Terrific strike it was too, and Andy McLaren made it 2-0. Gordon Chisholm has joined Chick Young.
You must be happy with that. Oh, delighted, Chick. I think two great goals, you know, the boys have worked really hard. It's been a good 45 minutes, but I think the important thing is we don't sit back and try to defend the 2-goal lead. We've still got to have a go at them.
Yeah, you know that lesson from Parkhead when you were ahead against Celtic?
Well, I think we get forced back. I think Celtic's pressure forced us back rather than sit back, but we'll be saying that at half time to the boys. Make sure we don't sit back and let Rangers come at us.
Thanks, Gordon.
Okay.
So Gordon Chisholm happy. This is why. Andy McLaren involved. Knocked on by McIntyre. The finish from Mark Kerr gave Stefan Klos absolutely no chance. It was beautiful volley from Mark Kerr. Rangers won't be happy at this one though. Stefan Klos will wonder where his defence were as Andy McLaren popped the ball in the back of the net as he went off to celebrate. A very interesting second half ahead. Half time at Tannadice. Dundee United 2, Rangers 0.
Yeah, 2-0, could have been 3-0 for Dundee United, and it could be a 16-point gap at the top of the table tonight between Celtic and Rangers. And Alan, Dundee United showing the organisation there that Rangers have been sadly lacking.
I can't believe that scoreline, because after half an hour we're sitting wondering how or why that Dundee United are going to win this game, because I mean Rangers were in the ascendancy and they'd made 2 or 3 chances, and when you're talking about defensive play, it's all about organisation, communication and position, and Dundee United have got that off to a tee. I mean, they play in 2 lines of 4 and they make life difficult for the opposition, but you've got to give them massive credit the way they played, because we thought because they were defending so deep they were getting a bit stretched, and it's very, very difficult to support the front man, but they've done it exceptionally well, got the 2 goals, and as you quite rightly said, they could have been 3 in front and the game finished.
Rangers lacking direction, Gordon, but we've got to give a lot of credit here to Dundee United for their performance.
I think they turned around with the goals though. I agree with Alan. We were sitting there thinking, what's Dundee United doing? They're the home side here. They were sitting a little bit deep, but I felt that Rangers, even though they were dominating the game in terms of possession, it wasn't good possession. They weren't keeping the ball for long periods of time. They weren't creating enough chances for a start. A couple of good runs from De Boer early on, but not much apart from that. Header, Moles had the header chance, but I just felt that all in all, Rangers are like a one-pace team. You can't really make many excuses for them, but they gave away 2 bad goals, probably against the run of play to a degree, but they don't look like getting back into it in the way they were playing after that.
Just watching Rangers, the difference between Rangers and Celtic is that Celtic have got a great aerial threat. They're very good at one end, whereas Rangers, they're not good attacking wise, they're not good defensive wise as well when the ball's coming in the air, and basically for the 2 Dundee United goals, you know, the ball is coming in the air in the box and Rangers just haven't been able to deal with it. Yeah. And that's where they've had their success.
Right, we're going to find out about that. We're going to look at that in a bit more detail in a moment, but 2 goals at Tannadice, 3 at Celtic Park. Celtic against Livingston. John Barnes.
3 at the back. make a ball in beside De Boer, and Morris Ross will have to tuck in as well.
Ball gets played forward from Stefan Kloss. You see the treatment being given to Craig Moore. Dundee United trying to take advantage of the numerical superiority. Given away by Michael Ball. Barry Robson trying to romp through. Robson goes past Ball, free kick, first yellow card of the afternoon goes to Michael Ball, Rangers' most cautioned player, the 8th of the season for Michael Ball.
I don't think Michael Ball can have any complaints. It was Ball, he gives the ball away initially, he tries to make up for it, Robson does really well. It's a great little turn, great touch with his left foot, and Ball missed time in the tackle.
So Craig Moore comes back on, but he doesn't look too fit, but he's going to try and soldier on. I'm not sure if that's a good thing. Depends on the injury.
Well, he's going to be, Alan McLeod's got to watch, he's not a liability at the back now. He may have to change one or two positions about.
Ball comes in, nodded away. Flick back in, danger here for Rangers. McInnes it was who flicked it out wide to Mark Wilson. That's a decent ball in, Stefan Kloss comes. And he's none too happy there. The flag was up, but the challenge by Chris Innes, Stefan Kloss didn't like, and the two will have a chat.
I don't think Stefan Kloss is too happy with the challenge by Chris Innes. It's when the ball's played on, Innes is onside. There's no question he's onside when that ball's played. I think Chris Innes is entitled to challenge for that one. Stefan Kloss is not too happy with him, but you've got to go for the ball. If he doesn't challenge for that, Ian McCall certainly wouldn't be happy with him.
Absolutely, get roasted by his manager as Rangers come forward. Now the ball played forward. Here comes Gavin Ray. And a good 4 minutes to go. Rangers really haven't provided the onslaught that I thought they would, Sandy.
No, they haven't. They've tried to up the pace, but it really hasn't happened for them at all today. They've never really been in control of this match. Early on, lots of possession, but haven't really created enough chances.
Michael Moles,
against Michael Moles.
Just got a little bit frustrated there. And there's some of the Dundee United fans. Check what's been happening trackside.
Ian McCall, you think there was still 90 minutes to go in this game. He's just given Andy McLaren an earful for. He thinks he's switched off a little bit. I think the game's won, but he's still going at his players. Tell them to go the full 90 minutes because he know the old firm can still come back at you no matter what's left. But it's been a real pleasure watching Ian this afternoon.
Ball gets through to Andy McLaren. Half decent turn, the idea was right. When you've already scored in the game, you can try things like that. Well, there's the Rangers fans. I said at the top of the commentary that the important game for them perhaps was next week, but I don't think they would have expected the performance from their favourites that they've had. Rangers replaced their whole midfield. Emerson, Arteta and Nerlinger all replaced. 2 at half time and 1 shortly afterwards. And while Rangers have had more movement since, they've still failed to trouble Paul Gallagher. And look like drawing a blank. As Michael Moles can get in there, Paul Gallagher comes to take the Dundee United fans with just over 2 minutes to go. I think they feel it's okay to start celebrating.
Well, they're certainly enjoying themselves now. I think Ian McCall will be a happy man today, the way his team's performed, especially after going in front. Probably the most important fact has been the way they've defended as a team right from the front after taking the lead. Every single player led by that man there, Derek McInnes, the captain, have given it their best shot, and that's why at this moment they deserve to be in front.
Ball gets played forward. Michael Moles, Rangers still trying to battle. Ball played away. Here comes Ronald de Boer. A great run early on in the match. It's been relatively quiet since, but he's got good place there. Oh, Stephen Thompson almost pulled the trigger. Gavin Ray tries to get in there. And Rickson plays the ball back. Here's Frank de Boer. And to Fernando Rickson. Some space for Michael Ball. And that bizarrely goes back to Paul Gallagher. The man of the match, Sandy Clark.
Well, there's been a few contenders, obviously on Tangerine today, but that man there, Charlie Miller, he's been outstanding. He's worked so hard today for United. Great on the ball, great awareness, great creativity. Also worked very hard defensively. He's my back of Scotland man of the match.
And he'll hopefully be chatting with Chick in a few minutes' time as Barry Robson nutmegs Nuno Capuccio. And the free kick's awarded. Well, Barry Robson's starting to enjoy himself out there.
He's had a good game as well, Robson. Ex-Rangers player as well, of course. Inverness Calais Thistle. Settled in really well down that left-hand side for United.
Yeah, McInnes, Miller, McLaren, also ex-Rangers players. Stephen Kloss tries to organise the wall. And Ian McCall, well, he's still making a lot of noise. He's on the verge of winning against the Old Firm for the first time as Dundee United manager. Free kick comes in and is well over. Well, Dundee United started the season with 4 straight defeats, and they hadn't lost back-to-back games again until the last 2 defeats against Celtic and Hearts. Ian McCall said they'd been playing well, and that's been borne out with today.
Well, as I said, Paul, I watched them play last week at Tynecastle in a game where they performed very well, very unlucky not to take something from the match. So it was always going to be a hard one for Rangers today, but as Ian McCall was saying earlier, they've gradually improved as the season's gone on, and they're ending up with a really good result today.
2 minutes of stoppage time will be added, and they have started. And Dundee United look set for their first win over Rangers in a little under 7 years. That's a league win here at Tannadice. They've won twice at Ibrox since then, and once here in the Scottish Cup. But 3 points will be their reward, and a place in the top 6 will be theirs for now. And those fans, well, there's been some tough times, certainly at home for Dundee United. Just 2 league wins here last season. They've watched a lot of performances against Rangers and Celtic that have fallen short, but that's certainly not the case today. So Frank de Boer, the easiest of games, plays the ball forward looking for Stephen Thompson. I thought he was pushed there by Innes Cleon, says the referee. McCracken with a cracking tackle on Rickson. And McIntyre heads it on looking for Andy McLaren. Robson's made a good run. Ball delivered in. Robson, he's got Charlie Miller with him, he goes himself. And Stephen Kloss makes the save.
Great break from United again. Good ball in. McLaren finds Robson inside the box. That's a great turn. Probably should have scored, but good save from Stephen Kloss.
Yeah, Stephen Kloss showing what he can do as the ball goes out of play on the far side. Referee John Underhill will glance at his watch. You'll know there's about 10 seconds left in this match. And Dundee United in absolutely no hurry. I wonder if Ian McCall will start to relax now. Throw in to Nuno Capucho. It's been a memorable afternoon for Dundee United, a forgettable one for Rangers. The managers shake hands. It's Ian McCall's afternoon, and Mark Kerr opened the scoring after 31 minutes. Top class goal, and Andy McLaren, he got the second goal. Little header in, just explaining to Maurice Ross how he did it. Barry Robson played so well throughout, and he applauds the Dundee United fans. The Dundee United move into the top 6. They know what that means financially for them. Charlie Miller, the pick of the bunch for the Dundee United players. Sandy Clark's man of the match. A handshake for Stephen Thompson. And Charlie Miller, well, he's applauding the fans. So is Chris Innes, who's settled back into the back 4 today. He played so well. But there were 11 heroes out there in Tangerine. Ian McCall made no changes. Alec McLeish made a couple of changes at half-time, and then threw on Gavin Ray as well. But it wasn't to be. Rangers afternoon, the fall 16 points behind Celtic. That's a horrible thing for the Rangers fans. The Dundee United fans, though, quite happy with their afternoon's work. Ironically, both goals came after a fairly lacklustre opening half hour. The first after 31 minutes, the second after 34. Rangers rarely troubled Paul Gallagher. Paul Gallagher, probably one of his easier afternoons. That's now his 3rd clean sheet in the last 10 games. The other 2 against Hibs and Dunfermline. Chick is with the man of the match.
Congratulations, Charlie. Champagne for you, champagne, Charlie, tonight. And I'm Tunis, I'm sure. Tremendous performance. You must have enjoyed that against your old team.
That was great. The boys put in great effort, and you have to work hard to beat a team like Rangers. But we worked very hard and we got a result.
Yeah, you know you've got to, when you get again ahead against the whole film, you've got to keep it going.
Well, you have to work hard. There's 90 minutes all the way through the game. If you don't work hard, you're going to get beat, and the whole team worked very hard today.
Some of the skill you put into this game today, we look at there, like your old self.
Yeah, some not bad skills, but it was more important the team win the game. We needed the 3 points to get into the top 6, and it was great.
But some criticism you've had in the past, Charles, the defensive side of your game. Do you feel you've added that to your game now?
If I wanted to be a defender, I'd have grown up a defender. Never been a defender.
Oh, well,
I'm attacking midfielder.
Some people think you're working back and getting a lot more to your game now.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah. There've been signs, of course, that United have coming into a game over the last couple of weeks. You played well at Celtic Park. I mean, you felt this kind of performance coming, didn't you?
Yeah, of course. We played well at Celtic Park. We knew we could come here and do well against Rangers today. And we got the 3 points. Rangers are a class team, but it's just not happened for them this season. But as long as we get the 3 points in the top 6.
We could hear the supporters in the back, and it's always good to come here and hear some 70s music, actually. But the Dundee United fans, they've enjoyed themselves, haven't they?
Oh, they have. Great result for them. Fans have been very good today, and hopefully they can come in numbers next week.
Of course, the thing now is to sustain this form, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. Top 6 now. We can go and beat any team, hopefully.
Just brilliant. McCall's really going to put his mark in the team now.
Yeah, I think so. You can see that yourself. We've not beat at home since November. I think that was Celtic, but we're doing very well. We're getting there, and long may it continue.
Champagne performance, Charlie Bolton to go with it. Thanks, Scotland man of the match. Well done. Congratulations. Cheers.
Well, I'm surprised Chick recognised the 70s music there. I thought that was a bit modern and a bit up to date for him. But who else picked Charlie Miller as man of the match? These are our winners: Alistair Melvin from Glasgow, Hazel Rayburn and Sean Phillips from Edinburgh, all winners in today's Sports Scene Man of the Match competition. Now, 16 points between Celtic and Rangers at the top of the table. Goal difference 73 to 31, and I think, Alan, you're quite shaken at that performance by Rangers today.
It was definitely poor. Rangers were devoid of pace, height, devoid of ideas, but the most worrying thing for Alex McLeish was they were devoid of hunger. When it came to the most important battles on the pitch, Dundee United were king. The number of times Dundee United players closed Rangers players down quickly and took the ball off them, it was time out number. Dundee United were very good, defensively organised, closing down quickly, getting there tight, in the air. They were absolutely superb, and they were well worthy of the 2-0 victory.
Significant, Gordon, that Alex McLeish took off his entire first half midfield.
Yeah, I think you could have substituted them without any problems. Even he took them off, gradually in the second half. He took one of them off. He took 2 off at half time, but they weren't doing anything. I just thought that Rangers, as Alan said, were devoid of ideas today, and they didn't control the game. I mean, they really do miss somebody like Barry Ferguson. I mean, I know Rangers fans were not happy with Barry Ferguson's point about leaving, but I thought that they don't have a controlling midfield player. They don't have a presence in there.
The most important aspect was that Rangers 2-0 down at half time, you're expecting some sort of surge, last 20-25 minutes, but Dundee United were very comfortable. Defensively, all right, they still sat back a bit too deep at times, but they're winning the headers, they're winning the tackles, and the proof of the pudding is how many saves the Dundee United goalkeeper to make in the second half. Wasn't many.
It didn't happen for Rangers, it did happen for Dundee United. They're into the top 6. That's what Ian McCall's been aiming for right from the start of the season. Here he is.
Yeah, Robin, just cleaning these glasses. I think I'm a bit steamed up. You're a bit excited during that, were you not?
Well, a wee bit, but I don't think it was that bad today. I thought we played very well and deserved to win.
I think I've got pictures to the contrary, but your team agree with you. It was we said before the match, Ian, this kind of performance has been coming from United. You've been getting there.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have been playing well recently. I mean, we did well at Celtic Park, did well at Tynecastle, and did well against Hibs, and we've only taken 1 point out of 9. And I'm still learning at this level. And I think when you play well, you've got to take points in this league, because there will be times when you're going to get beat. So today was a big one for us and puts us into 6th place. 2 smashing goals. I'm sure you'd enjoy seeing them again. First one was a tremendous knockdown by Jim McIntyre, wasn't it? Well, Jim McIntyre's exhibition of heading the ball today was absolutely outstanding. And Mark, super fun. Is it in? Oh, it was in. It was a great finish. To beat a goal of that calibre, it's a great finish. And then we are. I think we're very dangerous at set plays, because Robson's as good as anybody in the country at crossing the ball, and it was a great delivery and a good goal.
An all-round performance. You talked about youth in your team, but a lot of these guys looks have been playing at this level for a long time.
Well, yeah, they have. They came of age a little bit today. They've still got a lot to learn. I will say, I've got to say, watching Charlie Miller today and watching Scotland, I've got to say, the way he's living his life just now, that boy should be playing for Scotland, no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, well, actually, I gave him the champagne and he was nearly refusing it. He's changed his ways so much.
Well, he's a bit of a bore now, actually, in the dressing room, you know. So, but he's blessed with ability, and if he lives his life correctly, he should be playing for Scotland.
Thanks, Ian. Well done today. Cheers.
Cheers, Chip.
As Ian said, it has been coming for Dundee United, so close to ending Celtic's winning run at Celtic Park, and now beating Rangers by 2-0 this afternoon, and it could have been more.
Well, very much so. They had a great chance in the last 5 minutes to make it 3-0, but I think the big thing was that they were really comfortable. I don't know about Charlie Miller being man of the match. I thought he played all right, but
don't you upset Sandy now?
I think Sandy Clark picked him because he kept on going on about his defensive frailties all through the match. So he was being diplomatic. I thought the two Dundee United centre-backs were magnificent right for the start. For 90 minutes they were just... And the great thing about Dundee United for the supporters is that you can see, just the first time I've seen them this season, you can see there's been a lot of work done there on the back four. They really have worked hard. And as I said before, you get 4 defenders in position, it's very, very difficult to get past them. And that's what they did exceptionally well today. Positionally, they were brilliant.
And here's how they won it with 2 goals in 3 first-half minutes, Gordon.
Well, this was a big turnaround, I thought, because I thought Rangers, although not playing that well, were dominating the game, looked like the team most liable to score. Good ball in from McLaren. McIntyre's won the ball there. I wondered why Craig Moore didn't challenge McIntyre for the header there, to be honest. I don't know why, Fernando Rickson was away in, so tucked in so far. That was a strange decision from Fernando Rickson to come in there and not let Craig Moore, but Mark, what a strike.
Brilliant finish.
Great strike.
You talk about Craig Moore and Fernando Rickson. There was another flare-up between the two of them here at the Dundee United second goal, both blaming each other.
Yeah, well, that's the difficult thing is if Craig Moore's marking somebody else, but he's coming up a little bit late, but I think he's more or less having a go at Fernando Rickson there, because Fernando Rickson didn't do a very good job at defending. There's another run, McLaren just running in behind the Rangers defence. That was happening quite a lot. They were getting a lot of space in there, and McLaren's hit it, deflected. Could easily have been 3-0 at half time, but here's a great chance in the second half just to tie up. That is a good save. Great
save.
Great hands.
Good son, good save.
And Dundee United's belief is going to grow from here, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. When you have a performance like that against one of the old firm, I mean, they played well at Parkhead as well, but today they looked apart. They really did. And as I say, we've got a great foundation, great back four, good keeper, and they can only go from strength to strength.